And we're back on to Joao Gomes again, United fans. Yesterday, I was telling you about the potential signing of Joao Gomes for Manchester United and it not being possible because of a stance on a report from ESPN that Wolves are not selling in January. Now, Brazilian reports this morning are saying that isn't the case. We're going to get through that news. That's our top story this morning. We're going to touch on everything else going on with Manchester United at the moment. Is Kobbie Mainoo in the starting lineup tomorrow? We've got an update on that bizarre Matthias Cunha story that popped up last night. All the latest information on that from people on the ground at Carrington and the local reporters coming in on the actual Matthias Cunha injury, how serious it is. We'll bring you all of that information. Get into the live chat, everybody. Please give me your thoughts on all the topics and stories. How are you feeling after yesterday's scores? We did some rival watch. We looked and laughed at City and Liverpool yesterday. Was it too early to laugh? We're going to get our job done first, but it is opening up for Manchester United at the moment for a potential boost right up that league table to potentially top 4. Give me your thoughts. How are you feeling? Let me know if you think that this is actually possible for Manchester United now, that the way this season is going, it is bizarre. It really is. Transfer news first of all, though. Let's get into that. I hope you're all doing good. Sunday morning ahead of what is, well, a big game tomorrow night for Manchester United. It seems like we're waiting forever and a day. We'll get through today, honestly, and it'll feel like we've waited a lifetime to play another game in the Premier League. But all of the build-up to the game tomorrow is there, and of course, get involved and get into all the shows. We're going to be doing multiple shows tomorrow ahead of the game. That's then. To now, it's transfer news, Gomes, Sunday papers, everyone talking around what's going on at Manchester United and what we could possibly do this January. We've covered it all week. Even with the football going on right now, there's more and more stories coming out. And the latest one is Joao Gomes again. Just to recap you, if you didn't see yesterday's quick update video before we did the City and Newcastle game, we were talking about a report from ESPN which came out saying that Rob Edwards has had a promise, gentleman's agreement from the hierarchy at Wolves to say that he will not be sold from under. Basically, he's saying that Wolves are not going to get rid of all of their best players under Rob Edwards. They want to give him a best chance as possible. I did mention in that show yesterday, though, that if Wolves keep on losing like this, and they've just lost another home game, that's 12 games, 0 wins. They are on track to be the worst ever Premier League side in the history of the Premier League. That's where they are at the moment. Does Joao Gomes want to be part of that? It was just a simple question and an opinion that I posed to the audience yesterday, to everyone who was watching. And again, it's down to the player. If he starts to kick up a stink and say, I want out now because the inevitable is coming, which is Wolves will be relegated, there is nothing that Rob Edwards, whose only record in the Premier League has been relegation with Luton, is going to be able to turn that around. There's nothing there that he can do with that side. There isn't enough good quality players in there. They don't score goals. 7 in 12. Gomes is holding out some serious numbers right now for Wolves in that side, which is completely deteriorating and is spiraling out of control and is, like I just said, on course for relegation. The story from Brazil, after the back of what ESPN said yesterday, is an interesting one, though. And I seen this come up last night and I thought, it sounds really crazy. It sounds like we're going from one extreme to the other right now. But we're going to cover all of the news and we're going to get the debate going again. Look, I don't know if this is real. I don't know if it's genuine. I don't know if ESPN are writing what they said, because we've heard stories before where they have been completely wrong. We're just reporting what is out there. All we know is that United want a midfielder. He is a target for Manchester United. The most reliable source I can think of that has said that this could potentially happen is Ben Jacobs, who says that he is definitely on Manchester United's list and is one of 2 reliable sort of stories out there at the moment which are genuine and do have a possibility of happening in January. And that's Gallagher and Gomes. The report in Brazil coming out, and this has come from Travella. I have no idea. I'm going to be completely honest right now, but this is just more and more that is coming out from the Brazilian side of things. I don't trust. Look, some of them are right and some of them are wrong, but I never trust anyone or any reports that come from overseas as much as what I would with the likes of let's just say, Romano and Ornstein, people like this, genuine reporters based close to the club. Look, I don't know what's happening on the player side of things, but from the Brazilian side of things, this is where we're at right now. Midfielder Joao Gomes is close to changing clubs with the Premier League. 24-year-old Brazilian is expected to leave Wolverhampton Wanderers for Manchester United in a deal worth around €50 million. Manchester United's interest in the player, who emerged from Flamengo's youth system, was first reported by the Portuguese newspaper Record, which also revealed the value of the deal. In the current season, United have already spent €250 million to sign Benjamin Sesko, Brandon Bumo, Lamens, Cunha. The Brazilian also arrived from Wolves to reinforce Ruben Amorim's team. The midfield, however, received no reinforcements, and that's precisely where Joao Gomes would fit in. The sector currently has Casemiro, who is expected to leave United at the end of the season, and Kobbie Mainoo, who is not in Amorim's plans. That would leave Bruno Fernandes and Manuel Ugarte as long-term options. Joao Gomes, in turn, would have a career boost by leaving the current bottom-placed team in the Premier League. Wolves have only 2 points in 12 games and have become relegation candidates this season. The former Flamengo player has 15 games this season, 11 of them as a starter. He started alongside Andre in a 2-0 defeat to Crystal Palace at Molineux on Saturday. He has had, I think, his record, 104 games, 7 goals, 3 assists. Proper holding midfield stats and numbers there for him. The coach requested that Joao Gomes remain. Now, they've added this to the end of it here, to the end of the report, which is on what we reported yesterday. The interest from English giants in the midfielder was the subject of manager Rob Edwards' press conference, which preceded the game against Palace. During the speech, the Welsh coach, who took over Wolves in November, assured that he knows nothing concrete, and said that the Brazilian player has been excellent, very receptive to everything we've talked about. According to the British newspaper The Mirror, Edwards asked the board not to sell his key players until the end of the season, which includes Joao Gomes. The midfielder was signed from Flamengo for €8.7 million. So that is the full report and the full write-up on this one. Again, and that they've got into a little bit of detail there on what Rob Edwards said in his press conference, how he wasn't ruling anything out. I think all managers in that position there, I mean, can Edwards really come out and say that he is demanding that the players all stay and that he keeps everyone that he needs at the football club? I'm just saying this now, and this is exactly what I said last night. It's all right saying that now. We've got another, 7 games to go until the January transfer window opens, all of them in the Premier League for Wolves. If there's a scenario where Wolves don't win any, and they are, which is definitely doable. Manchester United played them twice in them 7 games, by the way. So we could really be sealing the deal here. If Joao Gomes feels like it's a thankless task, let's just say that. I mean, how does Rob Edwards turn this around? You've got a home game, new manager bounce against Crystal Palace, who are doing good this season and are obviously right up there now. But you know how the season's working. A couple of wins catapults any team far up that league. For Palace, we're a little bit out of sorts going into this game. And you'd have thought this was a chance for Wolves to take something and give Rob Edwards a little bit of encouragement going forward. There is no one in that team that could come back into that side that's going to change anything in terms of direction of that football club. The only way they could potentially make anything happen, again, this is my thoughts alone, just looking at it and watching that game back yesterday for Wolves. Yeah, they stood there, they held their own for long periods. Crystal Palace weren't fantastic, but still managed to comfortably win the game 2-0. That says everything on its own. They need to sell to buy. Their financial situation has always been well documented, and they are a selling club, and it has really, I think, peeved off the Wolves fans and where the stance is from the hierarchy at the football club at the moment. But you've got to look at this now and say, this is a team that were playing the 3-4-3 under Vital Pereira, and now they're looking to completely change that under Rob Edwards. Rob Edwards is not the fit for Wolves. That is an appointment for the Championship. I don't mean that with any disrespect whatsoever, but you have to look at the record and the credentials. What player is going to be convinced by Rob Edwards of being in charge of your football club and we're still going in the same direction? There is no hope for anyone there. And if there's an opportunity for Manchester United to take Gomes, and Gomes sees this chance to maybe push for a move now. Otherwise, his form drops off. And let's not forget, he's part of a relegation battle team here in Wolves. He's fighting for his place with Carlo Ancelotti in the international forward. He's managed to work his way back in there. Credit to him with his performances for this crap side that Wolves are this season. But if that continues and he just drops off completely because he's in a relegation-threatened side that's going nowhere under Rob Edwards, then he might want to push for that move. And the talk from Brazil about this is, the only reason I'm bringing it up this morning is because it's from the Brazilian side of things. And maybe this is from the players' side, because we've just come back from international duty. Maybe there's been talks going on, maybe there's been interviews and whatnot. I have no idea. I'm going to be honest with you right now. I don't even know if Joao Gomes even made it into the last Brazilian squad. My main priority was watching how Casemiro and Matheus Cunha did on international duty. So not even sure where Joao Gomes fits in at the moment. I do know that he has featured in the previous international breaks, and he is in the mindset of Carlo Ancelotti for the World Cup. You're jumping, aren't you? You're going in January if you feel like this team is just downhill completely till the end of the season. You're not going to get picked if you're constantly underperforming, and it will drag him down. There's only so much a player can do with a team as bad as this, and I'm only saying this because it is diabolical. It is shocking, the football being played at Wolves right now. They have been completely decimated in the summer of their best players. All gone. Basically, well, Ain't Nori leaving, Cunha leaving, that's it. You've lost two talisman there that realistically were keeping you afloat last season. They're the facts, and we know that. Cunha saved Wolves last season. He's gone. Ainori is gone. Obviously, they've lost Semedo as well on that side for nothing. An experienced player also. You cannot lose a quarter of your starting lineup and not replace them with quality and expect to compete in the Premier League. 0 points from 12. Wolves are relegated. It's as simple as that. There isn't enough investment coming in. Maybe they feel they could bring in a striker if they sold Joao Gomes in January. Is this where Manchester United then come in and take a hold of this? Now, I've said this yesterday. I think this situation will develop going off how Wolves do. And I'm telling you right now, a player that feels like he is doing everything and is part of the worst team in Premier League history and it's dragging him down will want to jump ship if the opportunity comes around. They will not. They will definitely not miss out on this. And then, of course, you've got the added bonus of the South American and, in particular, the Brazilian contingent of Casemiro and Cunha that he will be talking to and will be discussing. It happens. We know it happens. We've had loads of stories about this before with different players on international duty that obviously communicate with their fellow countrymen. And why wouldn't you want that move? It's now or never, because in the summer, I don't even know if Gomes happens. I think United have other big names lined up, like the masterclass performance from Elliot Anderson yesterday against Liverpool for Nottingham Forest. That move is going to take priority. Do Gomes and his people look at this and say, if we don't take advantage of this now, we're not going to get this Man United move? Yes, of course, you could wait to the summer and there might be other big clubs coming in. But right now, there is a spot that you could nail down at Manchester United and walk straight into and make your own. Can you afford to miss out on that opportunity? Can you afford to wait until the end of the season where you have no idea what is going to happen on Man United's side and obviously your form and everything that's going to build up? If Gomes comes into Man United in January, he makes the Brazilian World Cup squad. You know it happens, and it sounds arrogant and elitist saying that with the big clubs and their players all getting the places on internationals, but look, you're only talking about the inevitable here, I feel, and I think that with Gomes, his head has been turned. I think he will know of the interest, and United's options are limited in January. I think there is money there to spend, and if it is around that €50 million mark, 44 million, I think anything between 40 and 50 million is good money for Gomes. Under 25, Premier League experience, and he's doing it still this season right now. He's better than what we've got. 100% he is. I think it's a great signing for us. I think it's a fantastic opportunity for him. And I think this is why all of this talk is coming out now. Like I said before, let's just see how we get get through these next group of games, see where Wolves are at. I think by the time we get to January, Gomes is thinking about this move. I cannot see it any other way. He has to be. Otherwise, it's a big, big missed opportunity, because I don't know if United would go back in. I think United have plenty of other options that they could go for in the summer ahead of Gomes. It's time now. It's 50 million euros, Jared, which is being touted, which is being rumoured to be the number. Let's get some comments in on this. Please pop a like on the video while you're in the room as well, everybody. Give me your thoughts in the live comment section. Let me know how you're feeling ahead of this weekend's game. Well, Monday night. I keep saying weekend, but it's part of the fixtures for the weekend. Going off my predictions for all the Premier League results from Football Talks, definitely need a result. I need a few good ones this weekend now, over today and tomorrow with United. Big day for United today as well, in terms of our potential opportunity of moving up that table. Villa, Arsenal and Spurs all in action today, who are ahead of us in that league table. Obviously, yesterday we had the Bournemouth drop-off, we had Liverpool drop-off, we had Sunderland drop-off, we had City drop-off. Are we going to get more today? Great opportunity opening up here. Anyway, let's get into the comments on Gomes. Would you do this? I can see plenty of people having a good old chin wag in there. Lots of people excited for the game tomorrow and what's happening right now. By the way, we are going to be live right after this show on Football Talks, talking about the complete meltdown of Pep Guardiola yesterday. What is that man all about? And of course, El Sacco is coming. Is it? Is the rumour of Arne Slot being slung out of Liverpool by the new year true? 7 defeats in 8. Wow, why the media are not bigging up this like they would if it was Man United. Ruben Amorim never had a run like this. Arne Slot has. And he spent nearly 500 million. That's coming up after this show this morning as well. You can see I've got a spring in my step today. It's a busy, busy day for me as well. We're doing these two shows. Then I've got the ladies' game later on for Winton, which is going to be mega. The weather does not look good. It looks like we're going to get drenched again. I'm really annoyed about that, but hey, look, it is Sunday League and we love it. Jad says, I think that's how you say your name. Sorry if I said that wrong there, mate. Anderson in the summer with Casemiro potentially leaving will be good. We need someone in the midfield in Jan. Big drop off when Casemiro isn't on the pitch. Couldn't have said that any better myself, buddy. That is bang on the money, mate. That. The problem is Baleba is a risk because the evidence is there. This conversation happened yesterday when we was on the show. We were talking about Brighton coming back from that 1-0. Well, they were 1-0 down at half-time to Brentford, and they subbed Baleba off at half-time, and then they went on to win. And as you can see, like, everyone's putting 2 and 2 together. Obviously, Herzl there has made a big decision on Baleba again. He has really fallen off. Honestly, my opinion of Baleba right now is he's another player in the same bracket price-wise as Gomes is, except I'm probably looking at Gomes as the better option than Baleba right now. I know it sounds or does it sound crazy? I don't think that's out of the way, to be honest. I don't think that's a far cry. I don't think that's an off-the-cuff comment. I think that Joao Gomes right now is a better option in January for us than if Carlos Baleba was available. Money-wise, performance-wise, I think experience-wise, right now, I would probably say Gomes. Actually, get into the comments. If it came up, Joao Gomes or Carlos Baleba, everybody. And do get into the comments after the live is finished as well on that one. Let me know right now, because this, I think, is going to start. I think this is going to start heating up. But honestly, after seeing what happened with Brighton yesterday, and Gomes, again, look, Gomes is part of a losing side here. Let's not forget that. But I think he is handicapped with what happened, like I said, in the transfer window in the summer, where all of Wolves' best players were outed and no one was brought in. No one really of significance was brought in for Wolves. And I think he's fighting a losing battle. But honestly, right now, if it's between Joao Gomes and Carlos Baleba, I'm on the Gomes train. I think that is where we go with it. I really do. And I do think that he is performing well. If you look at the numbers, I mean, Baleba's numbers on paper and Gomez's numbers on paper, they can be misleading. I think it's about what Ruben said. His character, handling certain situations. Numbers can always look good and can be very, very misleading when it comes to stats of players and performances. So I look at how they're doing on the pitch. I look at the character of the player. I look at what he could bring to Manchester United. I look at his strength. I look at his experience. I look at his performances before. I think he's been a stonewall in the side. He never gets dropped. He's always available. He's got a good injury record. The right age. He's seen it. He knows it. 24. I think it fits better. I would pick Gomes. All Stars there says, I'll pick Joao Gomes over Baleba every day. Connor in the chat says, hi Adam, if we don't get Gomes, I think there are other options in the Premier League, such as Alex Scott from Bournemouth or Yarmouk from Brentford. We have spoken about Yarmouk, actually, which I think could be the best one night of the lot. Best one night of the lot, or the best of the lot, I think that's supposed to say. Yarmouk, we have spoken about before, is a potential signing for United. Another young player coming into Manchester United, proven, experienced again. I think it's going to be one of these types of players and another big one in the summer, personally. And then we might get the younger players coming through. I could actually see a world in where you've got squad players of maybe a Roscoe and Kone, and then a Gomez and an Elliot Anderson. Something like that. Or a Baleba or a Wharton, one of that. Then would be Man United's another 4 options for midfield for next summer, because I think Agate will go and I think Mainu will go. Don't want Mainu to go. Need to make that very, very clear again, but I'm looking at the obvious. I'm looking at what we said yesterday with Manchester United and the new squad ratio rules coming in and no big wages. He's not signed a contract. He wants 200 grand a week. He's not playing. He's not part of United's plans. And this new squad ratio rule, this new financial fair play that's coming in at the start of next season, is going to be pushing teams to sell players, because that helps massively in terms of what the bigger benefit is of this new rule. There is going to be an emphasis on net sales, on players leaving. Mainu, I'm sorry, again, this is why United need more midfielders. Don't want to go off on Mainu, by the way. I just want to concentrate on the incomings right now, which are important for us this season. And again, I'm not moving away from Joao Gomes. As soon as we knew that this was a possibility, I think it was a no-brainer for Manchester United, in my opinion anyway. I don't see how Manchester United could look past him with what's there and available this January. Random guy says Gomez is much, much more experienced than Baleba and has a wider tool set. A lot of people agreeing at the moment that is where United should be going for them reasons. A little bit more than Baleba. Like, he's aggressive. He's very physical. He's not bad in the air. He's got a good passing range. I'm not saying he's going to be world class in that department, but honestly, better than what we've got, which is what United should be looking at. Bringing something different, like Jason Wilcox said. Bringing Manchester United that extra little bit of something that I think would make the difference. Spending 50 million now to earn maybe 100 million from the Champions League next season has to be in the mindset of this football club right now. And if the opportunity is there, Gomez pushes for this. I think United are ready to go for Gomez, by the way. I think it's going to come down to the player. The form of Wolves leading into January, and then I think United will go. What does everyone want Gomez to do? The side is terrible. Yep, I know, Leo there with that comment. I'm just making the point. Look, he might want to stay and see it out through the season yet. Look, I'm not saying that this is a done deal by any stretch. I'm just saying that right now, where we're at in the season, it's not going to get any better for Wolves. And we've got 7 more games before the window opens. So let's see how Wolves do. If there's a turnaround in form, it might feel like he's in there. He might feel like there is something worth fighting for. But I'm looking at the table right now, and Wolves' record: 12 games, 0 wins, 2 draws, 10 defeats, 7 goals scored, 27 conceded, minus 20 goal difference on 2 points. They've lost the last 5 in a row and are already 8 points adrift of 19th. Not just safety, but from 20th to 19th, Wolves are 8 points adrift. They'd have to win 3 in a row just to make up 1 place in the relegation zone. They are relegated. I'm just going to say it. There is no way that with that squad, with the strength of the Premier League, Wolves make it out of that relegation fight. There are just better teams there. And honestly, 7 more games in, that would be exactly halfway through the season. And that, for me, is not going to change that league table. And Wolves maybe looking at, consolidation. Maybe looking at getting a maximum value for Joao Gomes in January. Because in the summer, there'll be a relegation clause in on that contract. It's pretty much the same as what the Lap had, like what Elliot Anderson has got. All of these players that are relegated have relegation clauses in their contracts. There's a big story of Manchester United not having any of that actually in their players' contracts. It was ridiculous, and it came about last season because we were so low down in the league table. But Joao Gomes, I'm guessing, will definitely have a relegation clause in his contract, and I think Wolves might be forced into selling him for a bigger fee and a more realistic fee, because they're going to need as much money as they possibly can. Look, they might be able to bring in some players that are going to be adaptable for the Championship with the money of Joao Gomes. It sounds really, really negative, and it sounds like I'm just digging the knife in even deeper here, but you tell me and try and defend that at the moment that's happening at Wolves, and why Joao Gomes would not want to move, and why Wolves might not be forced into selling him in January if this continues. They're done. They are done. There's no chance that they're making that up. I just don't see, with no extra finances coming in January, that they can make this work. The more I watch Anderson play, the more desperate I am to see him in a United shirt. What a baller. He has to be priority, doesn't he? He really does now. He is the one that is head and shoulders above everybody else now in terms of our list of midfielders performance-wise this season. He was absolutely outstanding. We watched the bit of the game as we did the show yesterday here on Forever United TV, and he was taking the mick. Him and Gibbs White were destroying Liverpool's midfield yesterday. Credit to Sean Dyche, by the way. I have gone in, and look, do you know what? You could say, Adam, every argument that you've just made about Wolves has been proved by Nottingham Forest. Back-to-back wins, win against Liverpool, and all of a sudden, they've gone from 19th up and out of the relegation zone. So Wolves can do it as well. Come on. We know why Nottingham Forest were in the relegation zone. The carnage and the turmoil off the pitch is why they were there. Their squad is head and shoulders, night and day, completely clear of that Wolves squad. The players that they have got, they were always going to fight out of relegation. And I think I remember saying it at the time. I don't see them getting European football, but then again, performances like that, and if them players, them international players like Gibbs White and Elliot Anderson start performing, then they could push up that table. So Elliot Anderson might be a £100 million player. If he takes them from where they were in relegation zone, being part of a squad that goes up into European places, then Elliot Anderson, someone is going to have to spend £100 million on him. But this is a guy that's going to be a full-blown international, and United will not be able to get Elliot Anderson before the World Cup starts. I think that also is something to take into consideration. So if Anderson has a great World Cup on top of what he's doing this season in the Premier League for Forest right now, it's £100 million, isn't it? And I get it, there are clauses in his contract that will bring that price down, but if he keeps performing like this, then I just don't see how... I don't see how anyone can get him for less. I think that's where it's going to go. We'll see how this pans out in terms of how real them clauses are in his contract. But you're dead right. And everyone's saying this in the live comment section about Elliot Anderson. He has to be the one for Manchester United. Aren't we a little bit worried with the scattergun media approach, all these names being linked and all them coming with big fees? Conor Gallagher seems to be the only feasible option. I worry. You don't need to worry, mate. I don't think this is normal for the media, and I don't think Conor Gallagher is a cheap fee either. He's very much similar price to Joao Gomes. And again, Conor Gallagher's 25, Premier League experience. He's better than what we've got. I would take Conor Gallagher. I would. I think it's a sensible signing for Manchester United. And I do think both Gomes and Gallagher would see us through into the Champions League places this season. That's how big a signing this could be for United now. If Gomez wants us, Wolves might be forced to deal. Adam, thoughts on full English breakfast, says Leo. Get to it, mate. Go and have one right now. Make sure that the breakfast has got 2 sausages, 2 hash browns, streaky bacon. Forget the black pudding. Forget the tomato for me. The beans have to be hot, and it has to be sourdough bread with 2 to 3 pieces on the side, mate. Has to be Cumberland sausages also, and the eggs fried for this morning. I think that I'll go poached or fried, but yeah, go with the fried eggs this morning with 2 of them also. Has to be big. Go big or go home, mate, is what I say on English breakfast. Just to give you a little bit more detail there. You can tell I'm a foodie, can't you? You're making me hungry, mate. You're making me hungry. Jay says, any of the 3 central midfielders, I'd take Elliot Anderson, Joao Gomes or Adam Wharton. Current displays and forms that should really deter United away from Carlos Baleba. Not the first to say it, Jay, and well said, mate. I do think the players that you've put in there in terms of performance-related this season, you're dead right there. Baleba's below everyone right now. And look, can we discuss the fact that the form of Carlos Baleba might force Brighton into selling him in January? If he's not being used for 90 minutes, is he surplus to requirements? Could they go and get Musa Kittis from Olympiacos and bring him in and sell Carlos Baleba in January? Could they break their mould of what their transfer structure is? We are in the know. We're not in the know on that one, and nobody's got a clue. But you can only look at facts, stats, and what's happening right now. And what is happening is a complete fall off in Carlos Baleba, while all the other targets, like Jay said there, are moving forward. Grandpa 70, I just seen that comment come up there. He says, Jamie Carragher says Liverpool needs to spend in January. It's absolutely hilarious. We're going to be talking about that on Football Talks as soon as we finish here. So double live show this morning for you all, everybody. So don't forget, straight after this show, we're going to be over on to Football Talks, talking about City, talking about Liverpool, and the complete capitulation and what's going on there at Liverpool right now. It's glorious to see, and it does open up an opportunity for us right now, for Manchester United anyway, to climb that table. I've just dropped a link in the live chat as well, everybody. Anyone want to win $25,000? If you click on that link and enter the predictions game for the Everton-Man United game on Monday, you're in the draw for 25 grand. And by the way, if you do put in a prediction on the game right now, before Monday night's game, you will automatically win $5 anyway, and I guarantee the win. It's basically saying free entry into a chance to win 25 grand. My new prediction game is up on Big Up right now, exclusively on there. It's like building an ACCA on a gambling website. Yes, gamble aware, please obviously spend to your means, but you are limited to what money you put in. And then the more bets you make, the better chance you have of winning bigger. At the moment, we're around about 300 quid if you get all of the predictions right. The predictions are already made out for you. It is dead straightforward, everybody. Really easy. It's right there on the link. If you click it, just press yes or no on certain bets. The bets could be anything. Is there going to be more than 2.5 goals? So 3 or more goals in this game? Yes or no? Will Bruno get a goal or an assist? Yes or no? Keep putting bets on. Choose as many as you want to do, and your prize fund goes up and up and up and up. And you could win big. Over 300 quid in the pot right now, everybody, to win. Get involved. Okay, super chat in from Stuart there. Says, hi Adam, is there a Cunha update? Yes, there is. I'll bring that now to you, actually. Let's move on to the here and now with what we've got going into the Everton game. Now, last night, Altrincham Media or something like that, whatever it was, stated that Matheus Cunha is not going to be available for the Christmas light switch on in Altrincham Town Centre after an incident at Carrington Training Ground for Manchester United. Now, we found out that Cunha did not let the club know that he was there and doing this. The club did not sanction Cunha going out and doing this. It's not a problem on that side of things. So this is why we didn't hear from the football club. So Altrincham Media for the town centre and everything on events, I think Altrincham Events or something like that it was, posted on socials, Cunha can't make it because of an accident. So everyone started to speculate. Simon Stone of the BBC, I think Stephen Railsford of the MEN, people who are close to Manchester United then started to put this out, and there's a story going around that Cunha is injured. He's not injured, he had a head injury, we've now found out, in training on Friday. So I think Or was it yesterday, actually? I'm not too sure about that. I think it might have actually been on Saturday. So Cunha's had a head injury, a freak head injury in training, and it was enough for him to not appear at this event in Altrincham. Manchester United have obviously let them know. Obviously, Matthews Cunha's people have let Altrincham Town Centre know that won't be happening. And he's now being assessed. Now, as you can see going across the bottom of your screen, that news has come from Stephen Railsford from the MEN. Who is close on the ground there. He's at a Manchester United press conference. His correspondent for the MEN for Manchester United has said that there is a chance that Kobbie Mainoo could feature because of Matthias Cunha's injury. Now, he will be assessed and there is no panic, it would seem, at the moment. I don't know if there's any certain protocols. I don't know if it's a concussion thing. I don't know if it's just a cut on his head. That he couldn't go and feature off. There's no real detail there, except he is fine. There is no injury. There is no reason for him not to play unless the doctors deem he cannot play for, I'm guessing, concussion reasons or something like that. I'm trying to find out what's going on. That's what we've got at the moment. Ben Jacobs came out last night also and said that it's a head injury. There is no real issue at all. It was enough for the Brazilian to come out and say, or to let Altrincham Town Centre know that he cannot make the event. I don't know, is the honest answer to that. But I would sort of like move towards the positive side of things rather than think that this is a big negative and he's going to be out. But I don't think he's going to be missing. It's like Graham said there. Nate Salt said the Cunha incident is not bad enough to leave him out. I'm guessing a cut or something like that. That's probably what it is. And obviously, United are not going to allow him to go out on a Saturday night into Altrincham, no matter what it was, when there's a game coming. It's just normal protocol. Nothing to worry about is the word from most outlets that I've seen so far. So I don't think that we need to be overly concerned, is what I'm saying. And I'm again, just bringing you completely up to date with all of that and everything that's going on right now. I don't think Cunha's going to be out of the squad. And I think United are going to be full strength apart from Benjamin Sesko. Kobbie Mainoo is going to be on the bench. I think he's back in the squad. We mentioned that yesterday as well. So he returned to training on the Saturday after Ruben Amorim said he might on the Friday press conference. So Kobbie Mainoo is back in Man United's matchday squad. Obviously, we'll see if Jack Fletcher and Shea Lacey managed to make the squad as well. I don't think they will with the amount of availability that United have got right now. I think there's plenty of first team squad available for United now that Leach is also back. I mean, we've got an abundance of defenders. For instance, you could look at this now and have the likes of Mazraoui, Leacher and Heaven on the bench with a back three of Yoro, De Ligt and Shaw for the game tomorrow. That's with Harry Maguire out. That's the depth that United have got right now in defence. So good news there. Also, big shout out again. Radat Vitek, by the way, right now, Manchester United's youth academy goalkeeper that's on loan at Bristol. They are absolutely tearing it up. Another clean sheet for him against Swansea yesterday. Another starring performance. His stock is rising very, very quickly. Manchester United could have a very similar situation to what City had with James Trafford. A player here that has not featured ever in the Premier League, being worth upwards of 20 million. Do we keep him and put him as number 2? Or do we cash in and take advantage of this? With sell-ons and buybacks put in place on this contract, this is looking very, very promising. And what a move Manchester United made when it came to Radat Vitek. Signing him up and loaning him to Bristol City. Perfect. Perfect move for him. Used to the English League, used to gaming week in, week out games in the Championship. High level as well. Right up there. Probably better than a lot of the main leagues in European football as well, a Championship. The level is very, very good. I think he could really feature for Manchester United as a number 2 next season. Or would you cash in? Let me know. Do you cash in? Say, for instance, a 25 million bid came in for Radat Vitek. Would you cash in? That's 25 million for a player that's never played for us. Now that is actually starting to talk. I would keep him, by the way, but That's the sort of situation that a proper football structure develops from within your football club. And that is exactly where Manchester United are now. Harry and Mass pulling up trees at Sheffield Wednesday, starting to become valuable. Right at VTech, the same at Bristol City. Both in the Championship, both doing very, very well. This is looking promising for United now. And this is where, like we said yesterday when we made the big video explaining the new squad to ratio rule instead of PSR, financial fair play rule, that's going to start next season. These types of players being sold by Manchester United goes an awful long way in terms of giving United the freedom to go out and buy whoever they want in the midfield area going into the transfer window. It's massive for United. It's absolutely huge for the football club right now that we continue progressing these academy lads through and giving them a chance. Now, like we just said there, Jack Fletcher and Shea Lacey potentially coming into Manchester United's starting lineup, but matchday squad. This is the chance here. They could feature while the AFCON players are out, but then they could easily, when the AFCON players come back in, be sent out on loan for the rest of the season and develop even more. I would be all for that. I would be all for sending Jack Fletcher, Shea Lacey out on loan this season for the back end. Look, I know we need squad depth, but with the games that we've got, when the AFCON players come back, unless Shea Lacey gets an opportunity in these few games and completely tears it up, then get him out on loan. Get him out there and get him playing football matches, and let's get some experience and develop him even more, because then you might have an opportunity to bring him in the summer and look at the squad again there potentially. Move Xerxes on, bring Shea Lacey through, or bring another forward in because Shea Lacey's happy to be back up to the new forward coming in. This is where United now can take full advantage of what's coming through. So, yeah. Sheffield Derby today, says Tomo. Does Vitek want to be back up? Does he want to be a backup? He might force United's hands. All word from him is he wants to be in Manchester United's squad. That's the last we heard from Vitek. He wants to fight for his place at United and wants to stay, which is why he signed the new contract, which keeps him at the club until 2028. So that was the last we heard from him. So whether that changes or not, I don't know. Onana wants his place back. Now that's concerning. I think the guy needs putting in a straitjacket. Andre Onana needs sending away. He hasn't got a chance of coming back in to Manchester United's team. So don't worry about Andre Onana. He will be 3 years into his Manchester United contract. I think he's on a 4-year deal with an option for a 5th. United will just release him cheap and get rid of him. There's no way that Andre Onana features for Manchester United at all next season, so don't worry about that. Senna Lamens is United's number 1. Random guy says Vitek is ours. Yes, he is. Onana delusional or what, Tim? Yes, Steve. Oh, he is definitely. He's off his rocker, that guy. He really is. Double Vitek's wage. Stick him on the bench. Pray that others never return. Yeah. I don't think we need to double his wages either, you know. I actually feel like he is quite comfortable where he is at the moment. I think United will obviously give him a better deal. But sell Onana, sell Bayende, bring in Vitek. I said this so many times on different shows before. That's Man United's goalkeeping department sorted for the next decade. Wow. No more drama. Wunderbar. There you go. That's, I feel, definitely... I think that's the right way to go anyway. Quickly, how the hell did the show get to that time, by the way? Time flies when you're having fun. Time flies when you're upbeat and positive. And that's what I was yesterday after watching that football. Give me your thoughts on Manchester United's opportunities going into this Everton game now. What are you expecting from it? Because we're going to be talking about City and Liverpool over on Football Talks in just a moment, everybody. This, I think, is a brilliant opportunity now for United. I just hope we don't bottle it. The opportunity has been there before in moments like this, and United haven't taken advantage of it. But at the league table at the moment, we've just been talking about it a moment ago. You've got Arsenal, you've got Spurs, and you've got Villa, who are all ahead of us in that league table in the top 10, are all playing today. I think Villa will get a result against Leeds, but never say never. Ellen Road, you never know. A draw there would be very handy for Manchester United. I don't think Arsenal are going to drop points to Tottenham, but even if that was a draw, that'd be a good result for Spurs. That would mean that Villa, Spurs and Arsenal all drop points. Manchester United, by the end of the weekend's action, if Spurs did manage to pull off a miracle draw, for instance, that would put Manchester United, check this out, 6 points off the top of the table in 4th position. 6 points off the top, 12 games in. That's if United win and them 2 games are draws today. That's the perfect scenario for me right there. I'm just looking at that. But by the way, Manchester United's goal tally, this needs talking about right now. Obviously, Arsenal played today, but Chelsea and City, 23 and 24 goals each. Chelsea 23, City 24 goals. They're the leading goal scorers in the league. United are on 19, having played a game less. Good result against Everton. United are right up there with the leading goal scorers in the league this season. And no one's talking about it. No one is talking about this. It needs to be spoken about. And we're going to talk about Liverpool's form in a moment. But United's, this right now is set up so perfectly for us to catapult ourselves right up there into contention. And then come next weekend, it'll be a 4th v 5th battle out on Sunday between Crystal Palace and Man United. It's starting to get exciting. The league is starting to really hot up, and I think there is a brilliant opportunity here for United. Another super chat in from Leo says, if Cunha is not in the lineup, I will be shocked. A player all teams still want Costa. Go get your breakfast, Leo. Cheers for the super chat, mate. Appreciate that, buddy. Thank you to everyone who has liked the video as well while we've been on here. If you haven't already, please do give the video a like. Make sure that you do click on the link in the live chat as well. It's the top link in the description as well if you're catching up later on. Being with a chance of winning 25 grand. Yes, I kid you not. You win straight away anyway if you enter the game. It's dead straightforward. All you've got to do is pick the predictions that are on your screen there, whether you think they're going to happen or not. There is a little bit of a glitch in there right now that gives you a win straight away, and you'll know what I mean when you see it. If you click on it, there is a guaranteed win there already, and they haven't noticed it. It's been created over stateside, so they haven't paid attention fully. So I'm not going to mention anything else, but you'll know exactly what I mean if you click on that link. And it's a win straight away. So get on there and give yourself a chance, everybody. Honestly, it's going to be exciting going into tomorrow's game against Everton. And a good chance for you to grab your hands on that prize pot. Over 300 quid, by the way, people. It's there. Get onto it. Let us know as well, please, everybody. Time flies when you talk too long on one subject. No, Graham, it doesn't. United will always be spoken about. And United will always be hot topic. And Graham, we cannot shut it down, mate. It's there. And I know you're just scared about me bigging United up and it all going wrong, mate. It's all right. I can read your mind, even through the live comment section without you even being there next to me talking to me, mate. I'll let the Graham wind up now. Lamens has been good, but not on the same level as the City keeper. In terms of Donnarumma, is that Leo? Leo, are you drunk, mate? What's wrong with you? In terms of, Lamens hasn't lost a game since he signed. Donnarumma's lost 2. Just saying. And that's in the league as well. We're taking Champions League out of that. Let's keep grinding and moving. Glory, glory, Man United, says Job. If Gomes does join, would he play in like a Casemiro role or the Bruno role? No, Casemiro's role. He would be a replacement for Casemiro, even though Casemiro is doing well. Being able to interchange them two and swap them in and out gives United the depth necessary to get through this season at least. I would spend the money. I would go and put a bid on the table now. 45 million, there you go. Let's get him in. And let's start really forcing the hand of Wolves here, because there's no way, like I said before, going into these next 7 games, that'll be halfway through the season. Wolves are relegated already, completely. Cabbage, I don't want cabbage for breakfast, Graham. No, you're all right. I'll stick with the fry up that Leo said. Hello from Singapore, says Arma. Is that Arma? I think that's how you say that. I would prefer Henderson for real in the midfield for Long and Gallagher with him as the partner. Okay, no issue with that at all still. I think that is a good combo there. Solid, proven. Again, I'll talk about Elliot Anderson because we're going to be talking about Liverpool over on Football Talks in just a minute. And he is definitely the best of what is out there right now, Elliot Anderson. 100%. He is the one. A world-class keeper is needed. Lamens is going to be world-class, Leo, mate. Come on. Get on with it. Get behind the man himself. He could be the next Thibaut Courtois, mates. That's what we're looking at. That's what we need to be aiming for anyway. When Xerxes goes, we should get Deniz Undav, a very good player. I was really impressed with him and this Turkish player. I don't know, Gary, to be honest. I would rather stick to players we know, proven players at the moment. That's the method I think Manchester United want to go down. And I think it's right for now. Then, when we're settled, I think we start dabbling in some overseas players as well and bringing them in. I think that's the best way to go for United now. Look, that is the show this morning here on Forever United TV. Please get onto that link and get involved in the prediction game and be with a chance of winning big bucks, everybody. Get on there now. That is set up for you. Just make your predictions dead easy. Thank you for all the likes. Please pop a like on the video. Let's get that over 200. If you haven't already and you really enjoyed the show, please hit the like button. Please also make sure you hit the subscribe button. Both of them things are completely free, everybody. So get to it, please. It helps the channel out massively. Join the journey here on Forever United TV. And that continues over on Football Talks now. So I'll see you there in just a mo. Cheers, everybody.